Join us live on the Sherry Lord Talk Show podcast. Start your day off with the Higher Vibrational Podcast with weekly guests covering spirituality, healthy foods, and so much more. Go to sherrylord.com for more info. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sherry Lord Talk Show. It's the spirituality and podcast show and authors. We're so happy to be here, and we hope that you guys can chat with us. We know a lot of people watch us. We are across the board on YouTube, LinkedIn, on several pages of Facebook where you can watch us. And we're so excited because if you get a chance, go to www.sherrylord.com. And if you want to place an ad with us, there is a form you fill out, and we have very reasonable prices here, and these are paid ads, and we'd be more than happy to market you and have you on our show as well. And we are so excited because we have Bonnie Burd. She's been on our show before, and we love her. She's amazing. And her topic today is how to maintain and manage your own energy. Welcome, Bonnie. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
We are so excited to have you. And there's just been so much going on, you know. I mean, you can tell our audience a little bit more about you. You're a Reiki Master, you're quantum touch, you do so much. Can you kind of give us a background of to our audience about what you do, and then we'll talk more about how to maintain and manage your own energy. That's a really good topic right now with a lot of intense energies happening right now and change.
Yeah. I'm a Reiki Master teacher, so I teach Reiki, and I also teach animal Reiki, and I do I do light language healing, help people, you know, with their blueprints, help people open up their gifts, and I also do mentorship and flow of life energy. That's what we're talking about today. Is a class that I channeled because Joshua woke me up and had me make a list, and I wrote the list down, and then I've been working with Joshua ever since, helping people master their own energy, because that's what we truly need to learn how to do in order to be in these higher energies, in order to I mean, we can get there. We do all these things. We get all these upgrades, but we have to learn how to maintain it and feel good and be at a natural state with it, and to make that the natural way, instead of always trying to raise your vibration, make the higher vibration the natural way. And that's pretty much through mind, body, and soul is the programs that we go through to help people learn how to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we were talking like behind the scene before we came on the show, and there is a lot of people passing, and there's a lot of animals passing, and a lot of people have a hard time dealing with that. And it's family, you know, or it's a good friend, or it's someone you knew as an animal or as a person. And is that part of the energy shift that's taking place now? Is just a lot of people leaving, including the animals?
Absolutely. I think that a lot of people, because they are losing loved ones, their energy shifts low, and then they have to figure out how to get it back up to a higher vibration. And they're like, it's different now than it was before, because like I just recently had an animal pass in my house, and she communicated with us and told us, you know, because we're at that higher plane of energy where that she could tell us, you know, she needed to be on the other side, because it was her job was done here on the physical side. And so a lot of them are leaving because of that. And if we can just have the, you know, accept the higher wisdom of that, it makes it a lot easier. And so a lot of people are also feeling not only do they have to pass, but they're feeling disconnected from their loved ones because they're not in the same timelines. Yeah. They're at a different level of vibration, a different level of their healing, and they don't feel like they're the same people that they always knew. And so learning to see past that and understanding that they are the same person, that they need to heal, that they have things that they have to work through. And it's okay if you don't feel as close as you did before, because you'll eventually come around to where you'll be on that balanced plane again. It just feels weird at first, especially when we go through timeline shifts.
Right.
People that you see, they're not the same people from the other timelines that you were on, because they're at different levels of shifting. And so it's really confusing right now. And so we work through that when we talk to them about how to make it feel more normal and to understand that.
Oh, I think that's great advice. That's very good advice. It really, really is. And the other thing is, the energies have been shifting rapidly. It's not just, I mean, it's continuously evolving. And a lot of us are very sensitive to this, and some people are just becoming more aware of it. And do you have any tools to how to maintain and manage your own energy as we go through change, as we go through shifts?
Yes, because anytime that you feel uncomfortable or antsy, or you just feel like you're just a little off, it's always having something to do with a shift or a timeline. And so just being able to acknowledge that and say, I don't feel good today, or I feel a little off, and so it must be I'm shifting. Being able to, do some meditation and ask for your guides and your angels to help you finish up whatever it is you started to shift. Um, Going outside in nature, connecting to, because all of nature is there to help you adjust and connect. And so if you go outside, and then also paying attention to your water intake, making
Yes.
sure you're in your water before you drink it. Purification is a big thing, and making sure that you do your energy hygiene and do purification every day and every night, because it's a lot of energy, a lot of people going through a lot of people releasing stuff. You're
Yeah.
walking around all day. You have to maintain your energy levels, and you have to make sure that you're doing your hygiene, because otherwise you will. And it's nothing to fear. It's just getting in the habit and just
Yeah.
doing it, because we're in such a different atmosphere. Everybody's shifting and moving so fastly that we have to just pay attention to your emotions. Because that's your barometer. If you're not feeling good, ask yourself why. Where's that coming from? What can I do? Because the minute you start feeling sad or lower energy, you have disconnected from the light. So what did you do to disconnect that? And then ask to be reconnected, and ground that in, keeping yourself grounded. And so that's pretty much what we learn through meditation, through, we do inner children work, we do whatever it is that spirit brings for that person, because it kind of adjusts to the person. Then we change it to that. And I channel with flow of life energy classes that I do. I also channel Yahshua, and whatever it is
Yeah.
you need, we do.
Oh, that's really good advice. It really is nowadays. And I know the water is very, very important too. Because we tend to forget sometimes. So it's really important to maintain, I think, and all the tips you were giving for that. And I think it's important to ask questions of why, and what this is about. Because you really get your answers. You're right. You really get layers of things you didn't even know was there, or it
Mhm.
reveals something to you. And that is a really good way of seeing that and understanding that, and that you can shift it back. So people need to
Mhm.
how do I get back to where I was? I want to feel good,
Yeah.
very, very important.
Check
Yeah.
into your energy level. Why does it feel low? What is it that I can do to raise it? And even if you've done everything and you still don't feel like you've raised it, ask your guides and angels for help, because they'll help you
Right.
adjust it. And
Good one.
water is a big deal, because water, we're almost 90% water. Even our organs is all made up of water. So blessing the water and making sure that you're drinking a lot of water really helps. Sometimes that's all you need to do is drink some water if you're not feeling well, you know. And so just really paying attention to your body, because your body is speaking to you louder than it ever has.
Yes.
It's telling you when you eat something that is not good for you, you
Yeah.
don't feel good right away. So then mark that off your list. I'm not going to eat that because it doesn't make me feel well. And you just feel your body is really helping you out if you listen. But you have to listen, and
That is
so is
so true.
your heart, your mind, your soul. They're all trying to help you. We're all trying to come together, but we have to listen to each part of us in order to get it done.
Oh, absolutely. I think it is really good to pay attention to the way you feel in your body and then ask the questions. And most people don't, but I think if they ask, they'll start to feel or sense or hear what really is going on. And then they can go from there to make whatever adjustments they need to make or the understanding they need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really good thing. Um, with the energy vibrations, and as there's a lot of us who are aware, who are evolving as well, what are some of the tips you can say you can to ease the new energies coming in into the physical body? Because a lot of us do sit, and there's a lot of very high frequencies coming in, and sometimes there's symptoms from it, but not everybody has symptoms, but some people do. Is there a way that it can be eased into the physical body?
Well, one thing is that people don't realize that they can do is just ask your team, your guides and your
Right.
angels to help ease it, and they can slow it down or ease it and make it a lot easier. But another thing too is, being outside. That's
Yeah.
the biggest, that is the biggest thing. It's just being outside, moving your body, eating healthy foods, and just checking in with yourself. If you ask the questions, your body, your higher self will give you the answers, but you got to ask the questions. What can I do to feel better? What tools do I need? Or do I need to meditate, or go into meditation and ask for healing, and ask your team to come and do whatever it is that helps you feel better. It's really important, because we all want to feel good, and we don't want our energies to stay at those lower levels. We want to raise them and keep them. We want that to be the norm, for the higher levels to be norm. And that's what we're working towards, and through release, letting go of, things we've held on to through past life things, letting go of that, all of those things helps make you lighter so that you can hold more light. And so that's pretty much what we need to work on.
Yeah, I think those are really good advice, because I think, you keep coming back, and it's okay to ask. A lot of people don't realize they can ask, maybe because they don't see them, but they're there. A lot of us can, and some of them feel them. It comes in different ways, or just trust and know they're there. And I
Mhm.
think it is very important to ask for the help, and they're there instantly as soon as you ask. So I think
Mhm.
that's a really good reminder to a lot of people, is they don't have to do it all on their own, because that's what
Mhm.
they feel,
And I
or they'll
mean,
be
even if they
guided.
have a friend that does energy work or does something, if you reach out and ask them too to
Yes,
help you, that's okay
exactly.
too. We're here to
Yep,
help each other, so that's
exactly.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think it is good to ask, and then you'll be guided. So if you can't really hear them so much here, they'll guide you to somebody to give you that message,
right,
and
they
get there.
will.
Absolutely, absolutely.
One of your friends might just come up to you and say, "Hey, I think you need to do a little more walking. You want to walk with me?" It could
Yeah,
be anything like that. And also another easy way to get messages is through writing. Just start
mhm,
writing, just
yes.
write, and then a lot of times the answers will come through. In that way, if you're feeling like you're not able to get the answers. But most people, if you sit in meditation, will get an answer, especially if you, before you go to sleep at night, if you state what your problem is and then ask for the solution, when you wake up in the morning, usually you have the solution, because your guides have been counseling you all night. And so that works too.
That's a good advice right there. And a lot of people, that's really easy for anybody to do.
Mhm.
If they're aware or not, if they can say, okay, I need a solution to this problem, and then wake up, and then you shift, or action or whatever they need to do, they'll know what to do. That's
Mhm.
absolutely a good advice. That's good advice, Bonnie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And what are some of the on your end? What have you been experiencing lately with the shifts and the changes that have been taking place?
For me, I've had like some of our animals that my kids grew up with has passed. And so,
Yeah.
dealing with different levels of family members who and how they deal with it. And, you know, wanting to help more than they really want me to help. And so that's been tough. And I also been going through, physical changes too. So I had a lot of uh,
Okay.
diet change, lifestyle change, and I'm getting more, um, feeling more healthier and doing more for myself and listening to my body. So I'm learning right along with what I'm teaching, because every time when it happens to you personally, it makes it more of a you cognize the information even deeper, and you understand the person that you're speaking to. So I just feel like life experience with things that you go through, it's a purpose, it's a reason, so that you can help other people.
Absolutely. And I also noticed for myself that it is a lot to do with the food. Not all of it is. Some of it is I need to go in and heal or change a behavioral pattern or whatever it was there that was coming up to be healed. But a lot of it was the food. It's like when you have more light or go higher, your food changes. It becomes too heavy what you used to eat. You just have to see what's appropriate for you. And the water, absolutely. I've been increasing water like crazy. And,
Mhm.
and everything is fluid and liquid. But I also know that what I used to eat, I can't eat anymore. And there's some things I can, but a lot of it I can't. It's too heavy. So I
Mhm.
like the idea how you kept saying pay attention to the way you feel. And when you eat something, it's very, very important to do that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it
Your
will
body
help.
will tell you. I
Yeah,
mean, immediately,
feel
if
better.
you eat something and you don't feel bloated or full, you just feel like you're nourished, you've eaten something that was good for you.
Yeah,
But if you eat something and you feel bloated, you don't feel good, you're like, oh,
yeah,
you shouldn't have eaten that. So just,
yeah.
pay attention to that. Make a list, you know, mental list. You don't have to write it all down, but I ate that last time and I didn't feel good. So I really don't want to eat that.
Yeah,
And
your
and
body
even when
can't.
you're grocery shopping, when,
Mhm.
also when you're grocery shopping, when you're in the store, what are you feeling drawn to? Are you feeling drawn to go over to the green vegetables, or what? Let your body be your barometer. Let it show you what it needs. It's a partnership with your spiritual body and your physical body. Build that friendship and that partnership with that, so that you can coexist in a healthy way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There
Mhm.
is a go back to the cellular. There's a lot of cellular clearing being done. And it's not like we've got to live everything through. There's some things we will, have to look at, but it's not everything. And I've noticed with the cellular clearing, for me, sometimes it's during the day, but I'm aware of it, especially when I'm sleeping. I can see what's clearing and I will hear it's clearing. Is that part of the evolution of what we're going through right now? And it's just a new level of being able to hold the vibration at a higher level,
Absolutely.
correct?
Absolutely. It's there. We're going through upgrades and
Yeah,
changes so that we can hold more light, so that our body can hold. I mean, eventually, I feel that it's going to, now we're eating lighter foods, foods with life in it that, sustains us.
right.
The further we raise the energies, we're going to get where, we only need water. I mean, we won't need food, because
Yeah,
our light bodies will be nourishing us with whatever's in the atmosphere. And then eventually, we'll be light beings eventually. But I know that's going to take a while, a long while. But as we go through the adjustments, it's new to us, because you know, we've never, at least I've never ascended in a human body before. Who do we know who has done that? So, you have to take what your guides are teaching you and do exactly what your body is telling you, because your body, maybe in another place, you have done that and it knows what to do. The
yeah,
DNA in it knows, the wisdom in it knows what to do. So pay attention, listen to what's going on around you. Pay attention to the people around you. That's another thing. If you're around people that make you feel sad and upset all the time, ask yourself, are those people for your highest best? Should you really be keeping them within your atmosphere? Because that's another thing that you're trying to keep healthy. It's
Yeah.
more about purification and keeping yourself in the
Yes.
in God's love, God's light. So it's not that you have to be harsh and have a fight with that person to not
Yeah.
be in that person's life. You just have to let go. It happens naturally. You
Yeah.
just have to let go and allow that person to live their life and do what they need that's necessary for them to heal. You know, you're not always the one that has to be the one to do that for them. You can always, there's always other people and other guides that are out there that will help them. You know, you
We
just know
we
you
do,
can't
yeah,
be the one.
we do go through different alignments with people. We might have been here, then all of a sudden we're shifted and they're no longer in your life. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. The journey continues. So we will
Mhm.
always ebb and web with different people depending on where we evolve. And wherever we were with them was a blessing, but then we've evolved and they're where they are as they evolve. We're just not in alignment with them anymore. And it's okay to say to acknowledge that. And it doesn't mean it's bad or anything. It just means you're just being true to yourself and acknowledging, this doesn't resonate anymore. We're both are at different levels now. There's no judgment there. It's just acknowledging it, like you were saying, being
Mhm.
aware. It's
Mhm.
just not where you are, and you need to grow, and new people will align with you in that level. But it's always like a weave. You're always like a weave. There's some people that will be with you, and there's some that's going to just go to the wayside, but their journey's continuing. It doesn't stop because you're not there. You just have to be true to yourself of if it's healthy or not anymore. You're not there anymore. It doesn't resonate. And it's okay to acknowledge that. It's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because we tend to, as humans, hold on to people and think that there's
Yeah.
something we're doing wrong or something we need to fix,
Yeah.
or and sometimes it's just it's not in their journey, and you have to let them go,
Yeah.
and it's not in your journey, and you just need to do the healthiest thing and allow them to do what they got to do, and it is a little sad sometimes because it might be
Yeah.
somebody you knew your whole life, but
Yeah.
you're always it's not like you're never going to see them again. They're just not going to be in your circle, in the small circle of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot happening, and it's about adapting to change. It's adapting to change. Change is constant, and we just have to be aware of it and be true to ourselves with it. We always want to please, and it's not about pleasing. It's about being authentic. It's about being honest with yourself with it, and it's really about loving yourself. It's truly about loving yourself enough to say no to something and say yes without hurting somebody's feelings. It's not about that. It's about being authentic and honest. You don't have to sacrifice, and a lot of people sacrifice, and you don't have to sacrifice.
Absolutely. And that's the hardest thing for all of us to learn,
Mhm.
is that we're supposed to love ourselves, that we're
Yep.
supposed to put ourselves first. I mean, especially as a mother, you never put
Mhm.
yourself first. You're always putting your kids first. And so you have to learn that you're important too. You're just as important. Nobody's more
Yep.
important than the other one. And you have to look at everybody's needs and do what you can do that's healthy for you, not try to overdo it and make it unhealthy for
Yeah.
you. Especially with your children, that's the hardest thing to learn. And when to just let them do it for themselves. That's hard. They
Yeah.
got they have
Wisdom.
needs. They'll help them. And so I feel like that's kind of like the hardest thing, is to look at how many people do you know that can look in the mirror and just smile and say, I just love every bit of you. I just love you to pieces. Who can do that? I mean, it's hard. And that's what we're supposed to be able to do, because we're supposed to love every living being. You know, we're not supposed to have judgment on anybody, not even ourselves. And so that's just something that we have to all work on, and hopefully come finally eventually do that. And it's not ego, it's just being able to love yourself unconditionally, you know.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a balance. It's okay to help or give, but you also have to receive, because most people were not taught that. We give, and then you deplete. But when you realize I got to receive first, I got to renew. and then I can give, and then I could renew. There's no depletion. But a lot of people has been conditioned that that's selfish, and it's not selfish. And I'll tell them, what is your definition of selfish? Selfish means you don't share. It's not that you're not sharing. And you give so much from your heart. So how can you be selfish? It's just that your priorities shift to where it's called wisdom. You know, you receive first and then you give. And you're never depleted. You know your balance. You know that, okay, I can't take that on, but thank you for asking me, but I'll be honest with you, you know. And it's speaking your truth. It's okay to say no to things, and it's okay to say yes. It's just using your discernment of what you want to take on and listening again. And I love your words, to the way you feel. If it feels like it's heavy, don't take it on just because they asked you. Really be true to yourself, and then you're honest and true with them, and it helps them find different avenues of people who will be able to do more for them in that area or whatever they needed help in.
Right, because you're best off to say no and just tell them why, than to do something and then resent it, because that just causes more. It causes upset and energy that you don't want. It causes lower vibrations. You don't want that. So if you just are honest with the person and say, you know, I would like to help you. Maybe somebody else could help you. Maybe suggest somebody else, but it's something that I just am not comfortable with, and that's that. And it's okay. It's okay. People are learning to respect that more than, you know, than not being honest, because it causes upset in the long run if you're not honest. And so, I just feel like people have to learn to really respect themselves enough to say when it's not okay.
Yeah, on the journey, I think you get your wisdom of that after so many experiences. You're like, what do I got to do different here? You know?
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to share at the closing here? Is there anything you'd like to add to the audience who's watching?
Well, I just think I want to do like maybe a light language blessing to just, you know, help everybody who's either going through grief. I'm going to ask for healing for grief, or even just some sort of upset that they need to heal. And so I just figured I would end with that.
Thank you.
You're okay with that?
Yes. All right. Thank you.
So everybody take a deep breath and just relax. Bring in the purification of God's love. We ask and intend that all who receives this is only receiving love and light and healing. To orapikaya shataya pokoshomi atara ikiri imiata. Isimiatra arapakaya. Ikiriamiatra ashakamayatara. Ituri bikeniata. Isisimi atra otro opakaya na ane. Ikiniatara onmiatra. Open the heart to the love of God. To ormiani anti eti shiti imiata. Allow the love to purify. Ta ashani atra akayanata. Ituroro pakayanayatra pikayanaya. Allow yourself to let go of what no longer serves you. To or iti adra atra otro papiata. Ishiamiatra atra otro orta pariata. Feel the purification running through your systems. Ta atra 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 orpikayana. Ikianani atra ariatra atra atra. Open your heart to the floodgates of love. To orariatra arapikayanayata. Ishianiatra orapianiatra atriamiatra. For that's all there is. The idiyamiatra atra itiri imiatra. It is the love of God. To urumiatra atra atra utru miatra. Share it with the masses. To urumiatra itiri miatra. May God bless your heart. To orpikayaniatra. May God bless your soul. To urpikiti imi itri imi etri. May we walk in the light. To ushturu umi atra atra utru miatra itiri miatra. Take a deep breath. Let every system, every cell fill up with this beautiful energy, grounding it into the mother's heart. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Ronnie. That was very, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us and our audience. And how can people get a hold of you, Bonnie?
Ignite Quantum Healing. I have a Facebook page. You can get me there. And also Ignite Quantum Healing is Gmail, so you can get me through there too.
Okay, we also have you scrolled at the bottom, so hopefully they can get that information, or you can go to www.sherrylord.com and you can click on the link and go right to her site. And you can also reach her from there and email her. And she's a beautiful soul and she's got a lot to offer. So I really hope you give her a call. And thank you again, Abani, for being on our show. We love having you. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a blessing.